All right, we're recording. Hi, everybody. Welcome, not to Monday, but actually to Tuesday, November 17th. I had such a busy Monday that I didn't get to this planner thing. So let's start that. Here's the tools of my trade. You might see this new guy. I mentioned him last week, but I didn't have a lot of time to get to him. This is a Pilot Falcon. It has a, let me stand up so I can look at the camera. Fairly specific nib construction, and that makes it sort of a flex nib. So has a lot more line variation. I've been using it as my everyday writer and loving it. So that's going to be what I write a lot of stuff with. Of course, we have my Pilot Metropolitan and my Inkjoy gels, just like always. Now, let's look at this, of course, because I did have to live my life. I filled in some of this already, but let's, okay, this guy is right here. Obviously, if you watched me before, you know that, oh, I should probably put my stinking doodle board there. If you've watched me before, you know that green is work, blue is social, and red is important. Comms. What's this? Come on, open. Okay, that's different. All right, cool. We're moving that. So let me go in here, get my handy dandy Avery label to knock this guy out. And then and then I also need to move date night. We've been doing date night on the weekends. I think I told y'all I miscalculated what the fuck daylight savings was. And I thought that the sun would be going down later after daylight savings, but it's fall back, spring forward. So now it's like the sun fucking sets at like 4 p.m. and I'm like, this is awful. Who fucking made this up? Stupid. Okay, let's see. We'll put happy hour right there. So if we want to do anything outside, which we haven't been doing because I think I talked about it last week, we have been, what's the word I'm looking for? Quarantining for Thanksgiving. So that way we don't, you know, give my in-laws COVID when we have Thanksgiving with them. It's just going to be us, me and my husband, my in-laws. So 4 people for Thanksgiving. I know a lot of people had larger plans for Thanksgiving. Let's see, Thursday at 12:30, I have a thing. But we were like really paranoid and we weren't going to do Thanksgiving at all. And then we were going to do it outside. And then we were like, that is going to be so cold. And I was like, you know, we have lives, both me and my in-laws. Like, me and my husband work from home. My in-laws are retired. We have lives where we could totally, without like really messing anything up, both of us could quarantine for 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. And that way, like, we haven't come in contact with anyone for 2 whole weeks. 3:30. And then, you know, it'll be safer, much safer. And, you know, we don't have symptoms. Like, I even was like, okay, so every year, and y'all will have heard about this before, if you watch my updates, but every year I get a cough in November. And this year, so far, I've been avoiding it. Like, I literally am doing every single thing the doctors have any doctor has ever told me to do, which is like keep my throat warm, take my fucking asthma inhaler, because my cough, it's asthmatic. It's an asthmatic cough that's exacerbated by the change in the temperature and the barometric pressure and everything. And so then, okay, so that's this week. Everything is in there. Now let's go to next week. I've been doing this watercolor thing. I didn't do it last week because I didn't have any, but I did it the week before. Oh, also you may notice that I didn't update my eating goals because I don't have any anymore. If you watch my updates, you'll have already known, but I talked to my therapist last Friday. We had been talking about getting rid of my eating goals and just like letting me basically like eat normally. And I put big quotes around normally because it's normalized eating, which if you Google the phrase normalized eating, there's like a whole bunch of stuff that is officially clinically normalized eating, which is like not tracking too much, obviously not overeating, which has never been my problem, not undereating, which is my problem. But then also normalized eating is like a diversity of behavior. So sometimes you stuff yourself, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you go a while between eating because you're engaged in something, and sometimes you don't. Like, it's a bunch of stuff that, you know, the average person would be like, yeah, that's just how I eat. But for someone who has an eating disorder, it's like revolutionary. So I am officially practicing normalized eating, obviously, because I have an eating disorder. That's not just going to go away. There's probably going to be times when I have to go back to tracking because I've had a slip, or it's just like something I need to focus on because of stress or whatever. But right now, no tracking food. I am tracking water, though. Water and tea. That's another thing that the doctor said is really important for me to avoid my fall cough, is to drink lots of liquids. So that's the thing I'm tracking. And as you can see, that's right here. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's me just counting how many 8-ounce glasses or equivalent of water or tea I'm drinking. So that's what that little sticker is for now. So I repurposed my goals stickers. And then of course this little teacup is still for my medicine. I drink a medicinal tea for my endometriosis every night. So that's that. Let's get to next week, which is fucking Thanksgiving already. Oh my fucking God. Oh, I love it. I love Thanksgiving. I'm very happy. But it's just like, this year has been 10 years and 1 month long. Like, it's been 10 years long, it's been 1 month long. Like, I can't tell you. I have no idea. But we are actually going to be spending the night at my in-laws. I'm really excited about this. I also feel like because we prepared and because we, I don't know, just like thought it through, and also because we have the privilege to be able to do that. That's real. You know, I feel like we made some good choices, and that's partially why we can go and hang out with my in-laws. And you know, right now our governor, Kate Brown, has it so that, hold on, I want to check the time and make sure. Okay, it's only like 9 minutes. Right now, our governor has it so that indoor gatherings are limited, indoor or outdoor, any gatherings are limited to 6 people from 2 families. So we're going to be 4 people from 2 families. And in addition to that, we're quarantining for 2 weeks before seeing each other, which is not, the governor's mandate hasn't gone that far at all. So I feel good about that one. So... oh, and also I wanted to talk about this. So I started to try and experiment with putting to-dos in my weeklies. Normally I would put to-dos in my dailies, but I realized that I don't really do them because I don't look at my dailies the same amount as I look at my weeklies, because that's where I do all my time tracking. I also, as of yesterday, our company, wait, is this crooked? Oh, it's a little bit crooked. Yeah, I crookeded it. I crooked it. When I was standing up one of those times. Anyway, my company, one of the ones that I own, technically I own 3 companies right now. That wasn't intentional. It just kind of happened like that. Oh shit. I'll have to drop out of that early too. How am I going to indicate that? Well, I didn't say I was coming to all of these anyway. I just said yes so that I would stop having to pick and choose. So, let that go there. And then this one goes here. But anyway, my company just got a sauna. So I've used a sauna for previous companies I've owned. Like basically, I kind of have a rule of thumb that as soon as we're too big to track in like one book, meaning like there's more people that need to see the to-dos, or there's more to-dos than can really like logically fit in a book and be looked at in one, you know, thing, which we're both right now, we go digital. That's the rule of thumb for me for company expansion, is that when you're starting a company, don't try and set up systems, in my opinion. Like first 6 months to a year, especially if you don't have a lot of money and you're the only person there, like don't fuck with systems like that. You know, have systems. Start making good habits in terms of like getting your programming done and like getting your shit together. Like do a paper planner or a planner that is literally graspable by you. That doesn't have to be paper. It could be digital. It could be iPad. It could be whatever. But like start your company in an Start organizing your company in a way that makes sense to you, because you're the person that works here. You're the one that has to make it a success. You're the one that has to like, etc., etc. So make that a thing. And 5:30. And then, but keep it in mind, because once you start to grow, and you probably will, like just bet on it. Bet on you growing, because that's really, betting on growth is the first way to ensure that you do grow. But once you start to grow, once everything can't be, what's that? Oh, okay. Once everything can't be kept in the same book or digital planning instance or, you know, Google Tasks list or whatever works for you, right? Once you need more eyes on it, once you need to be able to share it easier, once you need people to be able to access it, you know, while you're accessing other stuff, then you got to go digital. You got to get bigger. Do a task planner, get you a sauna, Basecamp, whatever, right? Any of those motherfuckers. Monday.com. These aren't sponsored. I don't know anything about Rike and Monday. I just know that they're doing a lot of ads right now. So that's the only way I know them. Oh, except for I was applying for a job, a freelance job. And somebody was like, well, if you don't know Rike, then we're not going to hire you. And I was like, cool, bye. If you don't think that after 20 years, I know I can figure out your organizational software, that is not going to be just like every other organizational software with its own strengths and weaknesses, then we don't see value in one another. We got to go. I don't know. Oh, we're not going to do happy hour because it's Thanksgiving week. And then none of this shit is happening because, again, Thanksgiving week. Oh, except that we are going to do social media on Friday. So let's talk about that. Or is it going to be on Thanksgiving or Friday? Well, and then family Zoom. All right, that is all of next week planned out, and I'm still going to be experimenting now that I don't have to do my eating goals. As you can see, I still tracked my eating yesterday because I track every hour of every day anyway, so I don't know how different. I just didn't have to count or like be specific. I just wrote down when it happened. I wasn't like, you know, counting, because I used to do this thing, remember, I don't know if y'all were here for this, but I would highlight when I ate, and then I would count forward, and then I would put a highlighter box forward in the day when I was supposed to eat. So that's what all these are for, is reminding me when I'm supposed to eat. So I don't have to do that anymore. But obviously I track every hour anyway. I'll track what I eat anyway. But it's just, I don't have to care about it as hard. I don't have to like count hours down anymore. I'm not good with spatial stuff sometimes, so I would always be counting hours, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like, oh, make sure I'm not going over 4.5. Oh my god. So that's a whole chunk of brain power I don't have to use anymore, at least for this. I can use it for something else. So I'm still counting water. I'm thinking about putting tasks in here, but again, we just switched over to Asana. I might not put tasks in this book anymore. It might all be Asana. I like to keep things in one place. I don't like to duplicate work. So, like if I'm time tracking here, I don't time track on the daily pages. If I'm tracking, you know, highlight of the day here, I don't really track it here. I just track the incidents of the day. So even though something might happen here and also show up here, it's going to show up differently. Like yesterday, we had this amazing tomato soup for lunch. So I just wrote tomato soup and grilled cheese. But then on here, where I did my day tracking, I wrote, you know, really good grilled cheese or whatever. Amazing grilled cheese, I think is what I wrote. So that's a little look into my madness. And then here's some watercoloring that I did. And I've been watercoloring. I've been going forward to watercolor because I really like the watercolor wash. But you'll see more of that in next week's plan with me. See y'all next week. Bye.